The likelihood that you or your family will recover from an emergency tomorrow often depends on the planning and preparation done today. 41 million Americans are over the age of 65. The term elderly encompasses anyone aged 65 years or older. People 65 through 74 years old are considered young old. Those 75 through 84 are aged, and those over the age of 85 are the oldest old.
There are two classification groups for seniors, the well elderly and the frail elderly. For the latter, many issues, both physical and logistical, exist. Chronic illness, dependence on prosthetics, and access to important medical records are all factors that can affect this group in an emergency. Other conditions affecting an elderly population include vision problems, hearing impairment, mobility issues, and cognitive restrictions, which can prevent one from understanding the gravity of a situation, interfere with the ability to heed advance warnings, or cause difficulty with the ability to follow directions. In case of evacuation, being in unfamiliar surroundings, standing in line for services, and being crowded into noisy rooms may cause the elderly to become disoriented. Social supports also decrease with age as family and friends pass away and children move away. The elderly are disproportionately affected by an insufficient amount of insurance, lower incomes, and isolation.
It is also vital to clearly communicate your disaster plans with your relatives, close friends, neighbors, etc. Time should be spent creating a social support network so that you are not stranded at home with no assistance. Your loved ones should know if you plan to shelter in place or go seek shelter elsewhere. Also, they should know your needs, what medications you take, if you require assistance walking or driving. Arrangements need to be made for someone to check on you if a disaster strikes and take you to a shelter if the need arises. Having a designated family member that is responsible for making sure you're okay is the best way to reduce confusion. Also, some disasters may destroy phone lines, and you might not be able to call anyone for help. It is recommended that everyone learn how to text, even if it is just a few words, to let others know what your condition is after a disaster. Special considerations need to be made prior to a disaster if you are considered to be elderly. The first step to be taken is to discuss what are your specific needs. Everyone has different needs, especially as we age. Addressing these needs can ease stress and worry if a disaster were to strike. The most important thing is that you have an appropriate warning system that you can hear. As we age, our ability to hear decreases, and you need to make sure that you can hear your disaster alert warning. This is important in cases like tornadoes, where you need to seek shelter fast because it could be life-threatening.
Here are some web-based resources to help you get prepared.
Medication is vital to many elderly people. You should make sure that you have enough medication to make it for a week at least, maybe longer. Also make sure that you have a list of all the medications that you are prescribed. If you require batteries for a hearing aid or wheelchair, make sure that you have an extra set of those as well. If you require oxygen or other medical equipment, make sure you have enough to last roughly a week. It is also important that you have enough food and water stored to last 3 or more days. Making an emergency supply kit with food, water, medication, extra glasses, hearing aid batteries, blankets, flashlights, copy of insurance cards, etc. is the best way to prepare for a disaster. With the proper preparation, the trauma and stress of a disaster can be reduced.
If you need help locally, please contact the Jefferson Shelby chapter of the American Red Cross.